Right, so just got back from Rome. Really nice holiday with the girlfriend. Went for like 3 nights. Just walked around, kind of like had a chilled one. Saw lots of sights. I'll put this cereal down. Just formulated a plan for my next competition. So this vlog's going to basically explain when I'm next competing and what the plan that I've put together, kind of like what that consists of. That's why I hold stuff. So first step is, in fact, let's take it back. So I'm going to actually put this plan on the screen at the end. And all the bits of today are kind of like lead up to that and explain why I'm doing it. So the first thing we're going to do today is get the club head speed tested at the Golf and Country Club. So we're going to go down there, warm up, hit some drivers. It's probably going to be really slow because all I've ate in the last like 4 days is pasta and pizza and drunk quite a lot of beer. But it'd be a good like starting point to see like where I am. And then going to go to the gym, talk through that, put the plan together, and get really excited. But anyway, let's get on with the day and let's get into this plan. And right, so just down here we've got a GC2. I'm just going to get warmed up, hit a few drivers already, but I'm going to hit a few more with the plain drivers and then go into the full long drive drivers and see what speed we're at. Slow. Right, first 2 balls, still very stiff. This is going to be slow, so be like mid 130s, I imagine. Didn't get a club. Done. Right, next. Right, speed. Let's get the number. That was slow. Just give me a number. Let's try again. What was that there? Okay, so just got back from that session and went shopping. And played a game of like how much food can you fit in one bag. Did break. So it's my shop today. What's in the bag? What's in the bag? Food. Oh, but I'm not going to go through that. It's just boring. Just like generally like healthy. Generally like healthy stuff. Oh. Yeah, so generally like healthy stuff and things. That session, but the idea of that was to get down there and see like what my club head speed was now, so I could then use that because I'm looking to like track my club head speeds like every 6 weeks, so I've got some kind of like idea like how I'm progressing. The GC2 didn't really pick up, so with the warm-up drivers I was like 128, which is fine, and it picked it up fine. As soon as I got the long drivers or perhaps like got a bit more warmed up and it got like over the 130s and onwards, it wasn't picking up at all. So I could just say, oh yeah, I felt a bit slow, I was 138, but the thing is I'm doing this to get some actual figures that I can use to compare to see if I'm progressing and what rate I'm progressing, blah blah blah. So didn't get any figures. I'm going to get some figures soon because I do need them, obviously. Might have to use a different simulator. The idea is that I want to use the same simulator, obviously, because they do differ. Like TrackMan reads slower than Quad and all that stuff. So, not a great start to the plan, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to put this food away and then get back, kind of like discuss what we're doing in the gym and go from there. Mm.
You never know. I'm joking, I'm never doing that again. I'm sorry. I'll never do that again. It's the weird thing, like, they actually do that, like, leave it on the stairs, walk down the stairs, then walk up the stairs, pick it up, go outside, like put it on their car, walk back. Right, so, before, I actually talk you through my program later, I'm going to talk you through what I'm doing today, but before that is the taste test of Kong Strong. Wild Power. It's just like it's just a Red Bull, isn't it? Can you believe the savings that you'll get on it as well? So I haven't done that equation yet. So £1 divided by 6 is 15p. So some small amount. Right, I'm going to get the today's session up now and put it in front of you. £1 divided by 6. 16.6p reoccurring per bottle. Over £1.19, I think that's as cheap as you can get them, the Monsters. This video is not sponsored by Kong Strong, the strongest of the Kong. No, but in all seriousness, it's so I've got an app which tells me what I need to do. I'll discuss the program a bit later, but so today's session is day 1. Ooh. So bench press. Oh my god. 9 sets. Cool. Into OHP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 sets. And then with this you do a bit of accessory work, so that will only be some triceps, although my triceps will probably be demolished after doing those first 2. So that's what I'm doing today, trying to get the camera in there, and I'm not going to like film it all or do a commentary, but I'll just kind of get the feels for like how it feels. Right, so session done. It's good. You stand here for like 5 minutes just trying to like get a decent, oh yeah, session done, that was decent. I'm just going to go and explain what the training was, what I'm going to do. This makes sense, doesn't it? Right, let's just go inside and actually try and do this properly. Okay, right, so I'm going to now explain exactly when my next event is and what I'm doing in terms of preparation for that event. So I've decided to wait until next year now to compete. The season generally starts around April, which is when the European long drive season starts. There will be a World Series long drive events schedule coming out. I'm not sure exactly when, but I'm going on the next event being in around 38 weeks time. Now, I competed once this year, got to the quarters of the UK, was really happy with that. It gave me a lot of promise and a lot of confidence that I could go on to compete at a decent level if I just got my speeds up a bit more. So this plan, this whole plan that I put together is designed to get me to that point. Okay, so I'm going to put it up on the screen now. I apologise for my handwriting. If you can read it, then you probably have a young child. So, as this is, 38 weeks till April. So I want to be ready for April, be maxing out my club head speed, hopefully around like the 150 mark, although I don't really want to just blindly aim at figures. I just want to put this plan in place and go for it and see where I am, hopefully 150. So the first phase, I've decided that I need to put on lots of strength and size in the first phase. So that's going to consist of the strength body mass phase, which you can see. So it involves 6 separate powerlifting splits with 1 deload at the end of each split or cycle, as it were. I then go on to an Olympic lifting phase, which is kind of like 9 weeks with a 1 week deload. Then into like the speed conditioning, like really getting ready and getting moving and getting fast for the competition and getting as quick as I can. So the strength and body mass phase is a 5-day-a-week split. I'm starting out with this Ensons powerlifting split, which you can get an app for, which is like really easy. Again, this is not sponsored by Ensons. This is sponsored by Gorilla Kong Strength. Yeah, it's really easy to use. Basically, put in what your maxes are, then it works out your training maxes, and you can just basically go through this. And there's a lot of volume, but this is a good one. I thought from looking at all the different powerlifting splits, I'm really happy with this one. There's lots of volume, so I'm going to give that a go for 6 weeks, then have a 1 week deload, and then decide what I want to do after that. The Olympic lifting, when I get around to that, I'm going to get a coach and really get those moves nailed. So when I go on to Olympic lifting, it's going to be like a half strength phase week, half Olympic lifting, and then moving on to a bit of like speed, like plyometrics and stuff, and then into the last bit with the speed and conditioning, lots of plyometrics, general specific speed work. So that's going to still incorporate some strength and Olympic lifting, but then a lot of power stuff in there, speed stuff, specific to hitting the wall a long way, basically. The swing speed, the reason I wanted to get a swing speed check today, as you can see here on the right, I put down today, I needed to put a swing speed mark in there. I'm going to just basically keep track of it every 6 weeks and see what my speeds are, just so I have something to go by. I know the speed's moving in the right direction. I'm really going to feel like I'm going to get a big increase as soon as I get to the Olympic lifting and speed and conditioning. But I feel like I need to put on a lot of strength and body mass to get the most out of that in the long run. This is quite long-winded, so I appreciate it if you are still listening. So after all that's done, I'm going to be basically ready for next season. It's a long old prep. I mean, 38 weeks. I'm used to doing like men's physique preps at like 12 weeks, but that involves like restricting calories, and this is just going to be calorie surplus pretty much the whole way. So 4,000 to 5,000 calories, that kind of mark. See where that takes me. Shouldn't put on too much fat, but should put on a decent amount of muscle and strength and power as it gets to the end. Right, I'm going to leave you with, thanks for watching this vlog, by the way. Leave it a like if you like the informative stuff mixed with, you know, just pissing about. I'm going to leave you with a clip that a guy called Steve Gold at Clifton Hill Driving Range just left. He is really good with all the, you know, force plates and bits and pieces. You can tell I'm not as technically minded as him. So I'm going to leave you with his analysis of my swing and what we're working on, and I'll tell you in the next episode exactly how that translates to what I'm doing in terms of actually swinging the driver. Okay, so I'll leave you with that. The speed, as you'll see on the TrackMan, is like 130 to 135. Just ignore that, it's indoors, it's like without getting warmed up, so that is why it's showing a bit slow, but there's a lot of interesting information that he transmits? He is not an aerial, that he puts across, so worth a watch. Thanks again to the end of this, really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. And also, just before we leave, there's a lot of golf stuff coming up. I'm off to Spain very soon, well actually in a month's time, less than a month, way less than a month actually, to do a golf trip, so lots of course vlogs and stuff. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again.
Right, James, just to recap on some of the things we've been working on. We're just going to have a look at the right-hand swing, which is your first swing when you came to the studio last night. And we can see your club head speed, a little bit restricted, obviously, in an indoor room and on the platforms, 130 miles an hour, which is a lot, of course. And what we're trying to work on is to try and gain some club head speed. Okay, so looking at some interesting data here, we'll concentrate on the vertical forces in this clip. Okay, so we can look at your vertical force combined, so that's the total vertical force in this right hand swing, the first swing. You can see that is 58% at its peak. Okay, 58% higher than your standing weight. Okay, so that's quite an interesting number there to kind of think of. As I said to you, I would expect that to have been a long driver to be quite a bit higher. We can see it's contributed to by primarily an increase in your force into your left foot. Okay, all right, and we can also see the force there on the right foot, the horizontal force. So that's the force moving from heels to toes, toes to heels. Okay, so if we look at the left hand graph, that would be this back line on your right foot. Okay, the grey there, we can see that line moving across, and it's not just the height, it's the angle in which it's doing that. The right foot is contributing very much to the turn I was talking about. If you're standing on an ice rink, you'd see the right foot slip back. It's because you're pushing force towards the heel, and of course the force plate is showing you here how the force is actually moving off the plate, which of course is the opposite to the way that you're pushing in, so you would be pushing in this way. The vertical combined force would really look at the other angles, so it's really how tall these arrows get on the right foot and on the left foot. So we can see at sort of max combined force, we can see where the point of the arrow goes, just out the screen, so we'll just zoom back a little bit there. Okay, we also have your centre of pressure and centre of mass movement during the swing as well, and we'll leave that for another day. So as we look at the swing on the left, we can see that the club head speed increased by 3 miles an hour in just a few shots, and we could get the idea that your vertical combined max force now is 214, so that's way higher, of course, than the 170 odd we were seeing earlier on. The interesting thing is here is this number here. Okay, you'll notice that your maximum combined weight, you are actually 42% lighter on the floor than you were at address. Our mass isn't getting any physically lighter, but because you have movement upward, we're seeing a significant difference to that. Okay, you can see there was hardly any unweighting at all. You're only at 90% here, so only a 10% unweighting in the backswing. And we were working very much on trying to straighten, let the right leg straighten, use the pelvis to move upward. Okay, you can see swing length is comparable, in fact perhaps even a little bit longer on your first swings. Okay, after we changed the way that you actively started your swing by pushing some weight into the front foot. So a big difference, a big jump from 158, okay, as a percentage right the way up to 214. Big difference in the toe to heel right force on the initial shot, so you're 158, okay, in newtons force, and we can see here you're 164, so that's adding more movement to the rotation of your body. You can see that you really increased in the left foot force, so as we sort of move you into that peak there in that bottom right graph at 170, you see a big difference. Okay, look forward to the next session. Cheers, James.